there, I'm Lacetia Walker, a mom, educator, wife, sister, girlfriend, cousin, advocate, a believer, and a joy seeker. And I'm also the host of the Joy-Filled Educator Podcast, where we're talking real talk, stories, lessons, belly laughs, and a whole lot of inspiration and joy. So if life's been a little messy, a little full, or just a lot, then guess what? You belong here. And I can't wait to share this space with you. Listen, you play a role in this too. Please like and subscribe, write a positive comment, then share this podcast with a friend. And let the countdown to joy begin. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of the Joy-Filled Educator. This episode is entitled Unmuted, Finding Your Voice Again. And I'm your host, Lacetia Walker. Today's episode is one of those episodes that, oh my God, it will sit in your soul long after you hear it. It's about rediscovering your voice after silence, reclaiming your gifts after delay, and choosing you, even when it feels like it's too late. And our guest today embodies that journey. Oh my gosh, guys, please welcome Dana Dickson.
Thank you so much, Lacetia, for inviting me to your podcast.
Absolutely. I'm so happy to have you. Dana is so many things. She's a Detroit native by way of Chicago, a poet, a singer, an artist, an author, and just an overall creative. But for many years, life and love quieted her voice. Now, at the young, tender age of 66 or 67?
66.
Ooh, at 66, she's writing her comeback in real time. And it's nothing short of inspiring. Again, I'd like to say, Dana, welcome to the Joy-Filled Educator. I'm so glad that you're here.
Yes, and thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You've actually had a remarkable creative life, even if it was on a pause for a while.
Yes.
Can you kind of tell us about that? Tell us what it was like to love art, but to feel unable to live it out.
The part about not living it out actually happened during the, should I say, the later part of my first marriage.
Okay.
But before that, I've always been an artist.
Okay.
As a young person, I started out doing poetry at Amelia Earhart when I was 12 years old, being on stage. And I remember the first poem that I ever did was "Where Am I Now?" Okay. I can only think of at least just 4 lines. Where am I now? I have no one to fear. People are all around me. What am I doing here? And I was thinking about that this morning, and I was just saying that how that, your gifts and everything, are there for a reason and a purpose and a mission to be able to share with other people.
Very good. That's really powerful. And you captured that very well. You said when you were in 4th grade?
When I was 12 years old, I was going to Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Earhart School.
So let me see,
That's about 6th or 7th grade, 12 years old?
Is it?
Well, whatever, 12 years old. 12 years old at Amelia Earhart.
Right. And then at that time, I was in a drama class as well. Okay. And then I was that at the time where I started doing art. And then I had artwork on exhibit at the Heritage House, and I had got a scholarship to go to the DIA. Okay. So I went there and I did sketching, and we also did painting and different things like that. Okay. And painting in motion as well.
Thank you. So I know you mentioned when we had an opportunity to speak earlier, as I look over here into the to the space, you were sharing that you were married, and then you were also in a relationship. And at some point, can you share a little bit with us about that? At some point, those relationships did not allow you to be as creative.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a young person, I used to sing, and we had a demo studio in our basement, and and we also were in a contemporary gospel group. And so my husband, I found out later that went to the band leader and told them that they no longer wanted me in the group, and I was kicked out of the group. And I was very hurt by that, being kicked out of the group, because I was like, at that time I was singing alto, soprano, and I could sing a little contralto or whatever. Okay. And I was good in the group, and I really enjoyed, being in the group. And then we used to travel and go different places like that.
Okay.
And so when I was kicked out, you know what I'm saying, I was very angry for, a number, maybe over a month or two. And I was like, I was tired of being angry. I was tired of holding a grudge with the band leader and his wife about me being kicked out. Okay. So I said, well, let me get some kind of peace offering. And I went and bought a pop or whatever. So I said, let me go over here and talk to them and share with them about, how I felt. And I wanted them to, I wanted to let them know that I was sorry for being angry with them. And then they said, well, we wasn't the one who kicked you out.
Wow.
That wanted you out. It was your husband and his friend that came over and told us that they wanted you to be home with the kids.
Wow.
And everything like that. So initially, that's what ended up stopping me from singing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah.
Okay. And then you kind of returned to the to your craft at some point. And I know you were in another space after your marriage. And you said that relationship also kind of tried to prevent you from being your creative self, from being who God created you to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And how that situation transpired to cause me to completely stop is that I was dealing with a gentleman who was very insecure, and he was a very possessive type person. Okay. And at that time, that was during the time that I had already had my book. And I was all over the city and different things, and traveling. I was doing spoken word in a lot of different places, interviews and different things. So he had got very uncomfortable with that particular situation. Maybe thought I was going to leave him and get away or whatever. So what I had found out is that he had started like tracking me or whatever and following me different places.
Really?
And he ended up busting all my windows out one time. I went to
say that into the camera. I'm going to need you to start talking over here because this is about to get hot.
Okay.
He did what?
But I was, at that time I was a paralegal by trade, and I was involved with criminal and civil division. Okay. So I was taking some files and different things to a client. And all I know is that I was sitting, just happened to be had just walked into the business where I was going. And I heard somebody say, somebody busting somebody's windows out. So I ran to the door. I'm not thinking that my windows is being busted out.
Gosh.
So when I went to the door and everything, like I'm looking at my car. All my windows was busted out in my car from all the way around. And the front window was so bust out, and the only thing in the middle, the glass in the middle, was kind of hanging on. And that was the only way that I was able to look through the mirror to be able to drive the car away. You know what I'm saying? And then that was very hurtful for that to happen. Yeah. And the same person, then he would, and the sad part about it, is that we were living together. Wow. And we had been together for like maybe about 12 years or whatever. Wow. And he was started, his insecurity just really got, really like, it overwhelmed him. And so he started calling my school. I was going to school at that time. Yeah. And he would call the school over 20 and 30 and 40 times. Goodness. He would do it daily till the people at school told me, if you don't have this guy to stop calling you, we're going to kick you out of school. Wow. So that he made that very uncomfortable for me. Okay. And following me around and different things like that. So and then he started going through my phone and started calling different people and clients that were in my phone. And
ultimately,
he would call them. He would call them at night. Yeah. And he would say, I can't even say the
Don't
things.
Say it, Lord. Don't say it. This is PG.
I would not say the things that he would be telling the people, on the phone. But ultimately, that was very embarrassing. Yeah. And so eventually, with all of that drama going on, I end up stopping. Okay. I stopped, selling books, I just stopped doing
kind of shut you down.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of women deal with things that are similar in a way and don't quite know where to go from there. But fast forward a little bit and then we'll kind of bounce back again. You are currently the author of several books. We have a poetry book right here that you have written entitled, it's a romance poetry book, Stop Fighting Against the Truth. And you also have another book. Yep. Which is a quick sample self-publishing tips book that's also a guide. So let's bring in some of your awesome talent too, because as I mentioned earlier, you've gone through all of that turmoil, all of that trouble, but you still rise, right?
Yes.
You were still able to rise.
Right. Yeah. And I'm at the point now in my life that I'm making a comeback, and I'm like, I'm not going to let anybody stop me, because I realized, well, it's kind of late. I'm 66 right now, and I have been out of the game for maybe over 20 years now. Okay. And so now I realize that, when you have a gift, that's a gift. A gift comes from the Creator. Absolutely. Your gifts and your talents come from a Creator. Absolutely. And that's something that we shouldn't let anybody stop us, because a gift is something that the Creator gives you to share with other people. Absolutely. So it's sad that it has to be so late for me to make a comeback. But when the comeback that I'm making is my comeback is so strong that I have been going to so many venues and everything like that. Okay. And I have just been setting them on fire, as I would say.
That's right. We lighten them up. I've been lighting them up. So listen, let's bring in some of your awesome talent to share with our Joy-Filled listeners. You recently mentioned that you attended an Art in Motion event and you created and performed a spoken word piece inspired by a painting called We're All Mad Here.
We're All Mad Here.
We're All Mad Here.
Yes.
Do you mind performing that? Because when you performed it the other day, honey, I had the hairs on my arms stood up.
All right.
Yeah.
If I can perform it, let me see. Just
take a moment and grab it out.
Let me see. That's not.
Yeah. Okay. We're all mad here, and it's a spoken word. There's a rhythm,
the pause,
and it's emotional delivery. It's okay. Just take your time, and it's very powerful. And honey, can we have a little music while she gets that together, please? And thank you.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Maybe I can do a little. Some of it. I hate for me to have slowed down.
That's okay. Just keep on moving. Okay. If we can get a little music here, we might be okay. The audience can kind of listen as you all prepare. Grab your glass of wine or whatever you need to do, and get ready for this performance by Miss Dana Dickson from Detroit, D3.
Well, anyway, let me. I'm sorry, but I call myself being set up. Apparently, I wasn't set up.
It's okay.
Enough. But anyway, where the poem was, the painting itself was called "We're All Mad Here," and I said, "We're all mad here. We all should be mad. We all should be mad. The stock prices are rising. I would rather find the peace." Can you cut that? Can we cut that?
No, we cannot cut. We're live. We cannot cut. So that was so powerful. We'll give you an opportunity in just a moment to go ahead and, if it's in your possession, you can find it. Do you know what? Maybe we can just jump to the part where you had shared with me another poem that you had done some years ago.
Right.
And you said you did at a club or in several different places. Can you share that one?
And that one is "My Man Done Gone Left Me."
Wait a minute. Get your wine for real now. This is for real. Audience, get your wine for real. This one is entitled "My Man Done Gone and Left Me." All right. Without further ado, Miss Dana Dickson, and everybody, can we give a round of applause, or is that within our power to do? Let's hang on, Miss Dickson. Get yourself together. That's okay. Let's just have you to go ahead here.
All right. My man done gone and left me. My man done gone and left me for some chick, young, hot, and free. She ain't got no responsibility like me. Why I sit at home preparing his dinner, serving his tea, watching his kids, and looking at TV. And he comes home after 3. Girl, you sitting at home in your house dress and your head rag all alone while some sister done got your man and gone. Sitting at home with that kid on your knee. Pretty soon he's going to grow up and leave. Then tell me, where will you be? Somewhere crying on your knees? It's time for you to get up and make a change. Things don't have to be that way. Girl, get out into the world today. Let them hear what you have to say. Honey, you lost his attention a long time ago with those soap opera conversations and contestant shows. Cutting yourself off from the world, talking kitty talk and putting in Jerry curls. You don't go out nowhere, sitting at home with curlers in your hair. You need to find some adult friends and find out what real living is. Honey, it's too much competition out there in them streets to be sitting at home feeling defeat. Girl, stand up on your feet. Life can be really neat. Get you a job, honey, and get up off your tail and put on some pretty fingernails. Then you give that sister plenty hell. You know, he met her at the office and she fine as can be. Honey, and she dresses like one of the sharpest sisters on TV. Her conversation is business finance, sprinkled with spices of intimate romance. Honey, she can turn heads for a mile, sending the fellas running wild. Every brother around the office is on her heels, trying to dine her with the finest of meals. Honey, she goes to the finest restaurants in town. And let me tell you something. She wears diamonds and not glass, and not even cubic zirconium. Oh, she drives a mean set of wheels, and I'm telling you, sister knows how to really deal. Now, why don't you just listen to me and check out this strategy I want you to see. Girl, take off that head rag and throw it away. Go to the hairdresser today. Those old, ugly house dresses that you love so dear, honey, tear them up and throw them out of here. Those old, ugly house dresses, honey. Why don't you just do this? Go to Cedric's of Hollywood and buy you a set of new lingerie. And don't forget the negligees. And those children of yours that you're so overprotective, honey, find you a babysitter. There are some who can be respected. And those Mickey Mouse conversations, girl, lay them aside and learn some new things. Honey, there's plenty of time to get yourself together and stop being Sally. Be new Miss Heather. Honey, get you a new attitude and stop being so predictable too. Teach him a lesson or two. Make him think twice about leaving you. Honey, if you work fast, you might get him back and get you some class to go with all of that. Darling, dear, darling, please get yourself together and get on up out of here. And that's that piece.
Bravo. 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 That is amazing advice and very relevant advice, too. Let me ask you, where did you perform that? In what places?
Oh, my goodness. I have been performing that in so many places. What is it? What's something about a fly place at the Detroit warehouse, Poetry in the Park.
Okay.
What else?
And for how many years?
Places.
How many years have you been doing that one?
Okay. Now that particular piece, I was doing it actually before. I would do that. The pieces of the poetry in this book. Mm-hmm. When in my day, I did that. I did those pieces in every beauty salon that I went to, every business that I went to, the clubs that I went to, because that I would use the book, because with the book, my book, Love, Sex, and All That Mess, was the title of my first book. Okay. And so what I did when I did this book, I added other poems to it. Okay. And so what I would do, I would have such a difficult time sometimes selling the book, even though I sold a lot of books, because when people saw the title, Love, Sex, and All That Mess, they thought I was selling sex, but I wasn't. I was dealing with abstinence.
Okay.
And so when I would go into a beauty salon or a business and everything like that, and then I would go to the manager and I said, excuse me, my name is Dana Dickson, and I'm an author. Is it okay if I come in here and sell my book to your clients? And they would say yes. Okay. And so, people be like, oh, what's that? You know, what you doing that for? So I said, well, let me recite a piece poem out of it. So I actually would start reciting pieces of poetry, and I would act it out in a dramatical form, and people be like, "Oh, girl, I want to get that. I want to give me that book. I want that book." So that's how I end up selling a lot of books. In the city of Detroit and in other cities, and then I started traveling, doing book signings and stuff like that.
That's wonderful.
And I sold books all over. So at that time, there was nowhere in the city, whether it was Detroit or Southfield, whatever, that I could go that people didn't know me. People knew me everywhere. You know, I had,
you were popular. People knew you. You had notoriety
at that particular time.
So if you can wait, let's 1 second. I want to go back to something that you said earlier, not to cut you off. You mentioned about how those relationships kind of suppressed who you were. They did. And let me share a little research. It says research from the University of California found that women who experience long-term emotional suppression, often due to controlling relationships or environments, report a 50% decrease in creative engagement and self-expression. Would you not agree?
I agree wholeheartedly. I agree.
Yeah. And yet, when those same women begin to reclaim their voice, like you're doing now, through art, through writing or music, they report a significant increase in life satisfaction and confidence and even in health outcomes. So when I say your voice matters, I mean it really matters.
It does.
And it changes lives. Do you remember like the one day when you decided, you know what, I got to jump back out here? I assume that it may have been recently because you said you have been out there and hitting these sidewalks and venues and things like that. So when recently?
I'm going to tell you, a friend of mine, we work in education or whatever, but a friend of mine, I guess maybe they have degrees and different things higher than me. One day told me, he said, you're not even in a position to even ask me any questions. And I looked and I said, what the heck do you mean? What is you trying to say? Let me tell you something. And then it's something about that. I was so angry when they said that to me. This is God, the Creator is my witness. The anger drove down my spine. I never know that you can be angry and it can go down your spine. I felt it go down my spine. Wow. And when it got down to the middle, it looked like pain went down there. That was out of my anger. I didn't even know anger could do you like that. Wow. But to me, I think but some good dang on anger, because to me, it was like an electric shock.
Woke
that
you
shocked
up, baby.
my mind. I said, wait a minute, honey, let me tell you something. My book is a passport. In my day, honey, my book took me to a whole lot of places that a lot of people couldn't even get in.
That's right.
So I said, honey, look, I got a passport. I got something valuable, honey. I'm not no trash. I don't know what you're trying to, whatever you're trying to say. But anyway, it was that. And from that day that I heard that, honey, let me tell you something. I said, honey, look, I'm going to start back writing. I'm going to start back getting out here in these streets and making sure that these people know me like they used to. So I've been going to every spot that I can find, touch, or whatever. And I've been doing my pieces of poetry, and the people have been loving it.
That's excellent.
They have been loving it. I ain't stopped. I don't intend to stop.
I ain't stop. Get it. Don't stop. Get it. Right. There's a great quote by George Eliot, and it fits perfectly right here. It says, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And so I can see that in you. It's never too late. So maybe today's the day you pick up, our Joy-Filled educators, our viewers, that you pick up that paintbrush again, or dust off that dream, or just speak your truth out loud without apology. Okay, you know what's coming, right? You know what's coming. It's time for our writing prompt. Pull out your Joy-Filled journals. I have a writing prompt for you guys today. Think about it as it relates to yourself and ask yourself this question. What part of me have I quieted or hidden to make others feel comfortable? And what's one small way I can start showing her again? What's one small way you can start showing her again? Again, what part of me have I quieted or hidden to make others feel comfortable? And what's one very small way that I can start showing her again? Take a few minutes to write it down. Be honest, be gentle, and be brave. Be honest with yourself, gentle, and also be brave. If we can have maybe 30 seconds of music so you all can at least start that, even if you don't finish it, you can start that. And we have Ms. Dickson over here, honey. It took that one negative comment by somebody who was ill-informed, maybe pretentious, to send that shockwave through her body to say, you know what? Let me make it happen. Mm-hmm. Let me make it happen. If we can get a little music for them to kind of write for maybe 30 seconds, and we have that reflection up on the screen as well. Yes. Barely. Our producer was asking about the music. Said, can you hear it? I said, barely. We can hear it now. It's a little better.
Yeah, we can hear it now. It sounds good.
We love the music. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Take about 20 more seconds to at least get that started. We couldn't find that other piece. It's okay. It's okay.
Are we still on?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. So while you all are writing, Miss Dickson is kind of looking, trying to see if she can find that piece, honey, because it was phenomenal. It was very current, and it's okay if she doesn't. It's all right.
I found
all right.
Lord,
you got it? Mm-hmm. Okay. If we can have that music stop, we're going to have Miss Dickson to recite that one piece. And what is it entitled again?
It's entitled, We're All Mad Here.
Okay. Without further ado, we're all mad here.
We're all mad here. We should all be mad. The rent is too darn high. The food stamps, they say, will be cut off in November. And the jobs are folding. Unemployment is high. We are all mad here in this madhouse that is falling apart. We're falling out of houses. Tent cities are growing everywhere, here and in the South. What must we do? We must do something. Even wars in the streets of America. The stock markets are falling. Houses are hard to get. We must stop these problems in the world. It is turned upside down.
That is excellent. I'm going to give a round of applause. That one is really real. You talk about some real things that are happening right here in society, in our economy, in our country today. And can you just give us a little bit about when you presented that or when you spoke that? It was a show?
I was doing a performance. I was at the Lawrence Street Gallery, and they were doing performance poetry, and there was a lot of artists who had did their artwork. And what we had to do is we had to go around and look at the various different pieces of art and see what kind of poetry could we come up from looking at that particular piece. And so, I was walking and looking around, and I saw that piece, and I wrote that piece of poetry. And so when it was time for us to discuss the poetry, I performed that piece in front of a lot of different people that were there, and they really enjoyed it. And actually, I performed two pieces. There was another piece that I had performed with a lady with two faces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that one I really think is really relevant. Right. I think it knocks it.
Yeah, that one is relevant as today, what we're dealing with today.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. So let me ask you, if you had to give a person that's in your situation, a similar situation as you were in when you were being, I guess you were being suppressed and muted, right? Because you're unmuted now. Like, what word of advice could you give to them?
The word of advice that I would give is that no matter who you're with, never give up your gift and talent, because your gifts and your talent can take you far. You never know where your gift and talent can take you. And I believe that the Creator gives you a gift because you have a message and you have a purpose. And when you fail to use your gift, actually you're holding back. So when you have a gift and you have a voice and you have a message, there are many people that need that message. Because I believe that we are here for one another, and the Creator gives us that gift so that we can
share.
It may even share, help ourselves. It can help us through gaining employment or whatever, But we need to use our talents because it makes us happy, and we don't want to be like the people in the scripture where the father had given them talents, and then they held and healed and hid the talents, and if you use your talents, there's so many different ways that it can spiral and it can grow.
I agree, and bless others with it. If it's just one person, I know sometimes people don't get involved, or they don't pursue their talents, or they don't write that book, or they don't do this podcast, or they don't share their ideas because they say, well, nobody really wants to hear it, or I don't know if anybody really wants to see it, or I don't know, but there is somebody out there that it's made for.
Absolutely.
That needs to hear it, that needs to see it, and all of the above.
Right.
This has been amazing.
Yeah. And I also wanted to say that during the time that I did stop, I was a manuscript development coach when I was dealing with the situation of the guy always, trying
to suppress you, trying to hold you down, may have even been jealous in a way, because we do see that today.
And
too.
at that time, I helped a lot of people write their books because I would sit down with them and I would coach them to write books and different things like that. And then what I would tell people then, because sometimes people have a hard time getting started, but I just told them, just start. Just do 5 minutes. Say I'm going to do 5 minutes.
Just start.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
And the thing is just start.
Just start. That's very good. Right. So we got a little bit more, but as we close today's episode, I want to invite each of you into something special. And again, inspired by what Ms. Dickson is saying today too, just taking one step, just doing something for 5 minutes, just do one thing. And I'm calling it a challenge. So for the next 21 days, we're going to show up for ourselves. It's going to be our 21 days of showing up for me challenge. Every day, we're going to take one small action, something that's simple, doable, and something that's filled with grace, because consistency is how we remind ourselves that we matter too. Consistency. So let me give you the tagline for this. The tagline is going to be small steps, real joy, lasting change. Small steps, real joy, lasting change. And we already know that it takes at least 21 days to start a challenge. To create a habit. And this 21-day challenge helps women pour back into themselves through small, intentional daily acts that will affect your mind, body, and soul. And each day will focus on one simple action that builds self-love, energy, and peace. So let me give you an example. First of all, each day is going to include a focus, an action step, and a reflection prompt. Each day is going to include one of those things. So, for example, our theme for week 1, 21 days, that means we're going to have 3 weeks. So our theme for week 1 is going to be lighten the load, releasing and resetting. Day 1, we're going to release the pressure. How about that? Our focus is going to be for us to let go of unrealistic expectations. Again, our focus for day 1, week 1, is going to be to let go of unrealistic expectations. Our action step is going to be to write down 3 things that you can release this week. And that prompt for writing in your journal is going to be, the question that you're going to ask yourself is, what am I carrying that God never asked me to carry? Or what am I carrying that I just shouldn't be carrying, right? So again, for week 1, you're going to do those things. Your action step, again, is going to be to write down 3 things that you can release this week. And your prompt for writing is, what am I carrying that God never asked me to carry? Let me give you an example of day 2. Day 2 is going to be drink to your healing. Our focus is going to be physical care. And what our action step for day 2 is going to be is to drink only water for the first 3 hours of your day. That's easy, right? And then your prompt, when you begin to write, is going to ask you, or the prompt that you're going to ask yourself is, how does taking care of my body reflect self-love. So I know that may seem like a lot, but those are two simple things. The first thing, you're going to release some stuff. The second day, you're going to drink you some water. Okay, that's what it boils down to. You can follow along on Instagram or on the Joy-Filled Educator on our YouTube channel. We'll be sharing each day's small step so we can walk this journey together. All right. It's going to be fun. Again, 21 days of taking care of ourselves and pouring back into ourselves and to change some habits. Dana, let me say thank you for being here and for being such a powerful reminder that healing in art can happen at any age. And in any season. It really can.
Yes, it can. Yeah. Thank you so much again for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so excited. And there's so much more to share. I got to have you back. I got to have you back. And to everyone listening, this week, I hope you find one way to show up for you, because the world needs your light. But first, you need it most. So until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep living joy-filled. Take care. Yay.